Tonight, Sandy Grubbs is fighting to keep her daughter's killer behind bars. Nearly 4 years after going to prison, a woman convicted of intoxicated manslaughter in the deaths of then 11 and 12-year-old sisters is coming up for parole. KFDM's Haley Buell is investigating the parole system and the mother's battle. Haley joins us with her special report. And Haley, is this a parole protest?
Greg, this is a protest through letters. Sandy Grubbs is sending them to the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles and asking others to do the same. She lost her only children, Cristin and Katie Grubbs, when an intoxicated driver got behind the wheel and crashed into them, leaving Sandy Grubbs dealing with the aftermath. Part of that, this parole protest, Sandy's fight. The smiles.
She had the biggest heart.
The laughs.
She was just a very spunky little kid.
The lives of two young sisters.
They were sweet little girls.
Memories Cristin and Katie Grubbs' mother thinks about each day.
It's still very, very hard to believe, even though you know they're not here. It's hard. It's very hard because they were everything. They were my whole life.
Two young lives, now marked by two crosses on the side of a highway.
And it was something that was 100% preventable that killed my girls.
Lives taken at the hands of an intoxicated driver. Sandy Grubbs is working to keep behind bars.
I don't think that's a lot to ask for her to serve her full sentence. We were given life sentences.
A life sentence without her only children after the crash in November of 2010 at FM 105 north of Vidor. Their father was driving the sisters back from cheerleading. Prosecutors say a driver crossed the center line, hitting the family's car head on. Amanda Jean Lewis was convicted of intoxicated manslaughter. A judge sentenced her to 2 8-year prison terms to be served back to back for the collision that killed 12-year-old Cristin and 11-year-old Katie.
I mean, it's not even the same amount of time that they spent on this earth. It's nothing.
Now, nearly 4 years into her first sentence, Lewis comes up for parole this November. If granted, she would start serving her second 8-year sentence. Grubbs is fighting it.
I mean, Cristin and Katie doesn't have a voice in this. They don't get to tell everybody what they saw in the last minutes of their life, what they felt in those last minutes. No one knows because they're not here. So that's up to me and their dad to fight for them, to be their voices. And that's what the protest letters are for.
Letters Sandy Grubbs is sending to the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles. She's asking others to do the same.
A victim's input has a major impact into what a parole board is going to do.
David Barlow practices criminal law. He's represented both victims and defendants.
It's extremely unusual on stacked sentences for someone to be paroled on the first sentence.
According to a spokesman for the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles, out of more than 77,000 parole cases that came up last year, the board granted about a third.
The Board of Pardons and Paroles usually does a very good job of separating inmates that have served their time, have done their duty, and can be released and not be a harm to the community or to the public, versus those that, if they are released, they will reoffend and should not be released because they are a danger to the community.
KFDM examined a Texas Department of Criminal Justice report. The state monitored inmates for 3 years after their release from prison. The report found about 1 in 5 were reincarcerated in 2009, 2010, and 2011. About 20% who failed to take advantage of a second chance. The chance Sandy Grubbs says Cristin and Katie never got.
She made the choice to take those pills. She made the choice to get in that car. No one made her do this. She did this, and because of her actions, she killed Cristin and Katie. And she should be held accountable.
If you're interested in sending a letter of protest or support to the panel, visit our website at kfdm.com. Reporting live in the studio, Haley Buell, 6 News Tonight.